You don't have to be physically in a human's presence in order to release their energy from your life. You've already released it, right? So I felt like this situation could have gone both ways.
Come hold me close, just let me know if you're here to take care of me. Come hold me close.
Peace. Today is Saturn Day. It's the 22nd, 21st. I wanted to do this video today on something a little more personal, and I think oftentimes we have to make sure that we're not getting into a space of having to prove ourselves when we want to close a door, and that we have the capability to be able to close a door with others and not have to explain why. And we get stuck, I think, sometimes in respecting other people because we've known them for so long, and we'll tend to disregard what our higher selves are speaking and saying to us. And I say this because I have to observe myself, and I haven't spoken to my sister or my stepfather probably in over 2 decades. And interesting enough, my aunt and uncle told me that there was a family reunion coming up. And my first initial response was, wow, okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and go, you know? But as the days passed, 2 days passed, I sat back and I was like, but do you really need to? Like, why are you going? It's been 2 decades of shit. And then I considered Pluto going back into Capricorn and, you know, the eclipse season, and how, you know, it's in a space right now of collecting the last of the bullshit in your life that you need to get cleared out in order to begin a new season of yourself. And I've done a lot of clearing. I've done a lot of shedding. I've done a lot of really looking internally and asking myself what aspect of myself still needs to be chiseled and fine-tuned. And my stepdad and my sister were the last on my list of people that I have not spoken to be able to close the chapter, burn the book, and rewrite a new story. So when this opportunity came, and at the time that it's coming, you know, with Pluto and back in Capricorn and the eclipse season for myself right now on my journey, I looked at it as this is the opportunity for me to speak my truth. This morning I woke up, last night actually, I was already having this hesitation of like, but why? You know, why do you feel the need to enter into a space where it's not required for you? You don't have to be physically in a human's presence in order to release their energy from your life. You've already released it, right? So I felt like this situation could have gone both ways. One is where I first started jumping into, where now I can speak my truth. I'm going to go and see what the energy is like and feel it out. Or two, it's been 2 decades. Why are you feeling the need to go back into that energy field? For what? You've been good. Your life has been beautiful, you know? And my most important journey, and it will always be, is my boys. That is my priority. That is my heart. And that's all that matters to me. Family sometimes, and most of our lives, depending on where we're from, how we've been, sometimes can be a stumbling block if you allow it to be, because you're so used to the labeling of these humans. the labeling of this is my mother, my father, my sister, my brother. I have to respect them. I have to be loyal to their emotions and their disrespect, no matter how bad it feels, because blood is blood, family is family. It's the bullshit talk that we talk about, But then there's this other journey where you sit back and you realize that these humans you've chosen as your mirror. And the labeling comes from programming society, because they want to label everything, right? But it's a lot deeper than that. It's in the core of this experience that we're in, that we're, have these connections. It's something greater than this physicality or the labeling of such. And I also sat back and said, well, what if this is also you? Because they're so close. They're so close, literally a drive away to Orange County, of decades not seeing, hearing, speaking, touching. But then also that other side was like, but what if this is your, I don't want to use the word challenge. What if this is your awareness of yourself, that you don't need that? Why? This whole situation is just toxicity. It's been ego-based. Just this family dynamic has been ego-based and proving to each other who's who and who's better and who has the better ideas and the better outcomes of situations and who has the power control, and fuck all that. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't need to be a part of that. I prefer to eliminate myself from that. And again, as I was saying, so what if this could go both ways? One, staying in that energy field of trying to prove myself and to let you all know that this is me. Or two, being present with right where I'm at and find something beautiful to do today, and just let it be. Just let it be. You've accumulated, scratched through the veil of the family dynamic, and you released it for a reason, and maybe this was just the test of myself to see if I would go back. And I woke up this morning saying, fuck that, I'm not. And now I'm looking for places that I can go and enjoy a beautiful lunch, or go to a farmer's market, or find something beautiful to do today, and I just want to encourage you guys to break the bonds. Let me rephrase that. To break the chains of the toxicity of family dynamics, and staying in a place where people just don't receive your journey and all that you are. It's not about being loyal. It's about disrespecting yourself, disrespecting your self-love. And, we will carry that with us always, because we've been taught, especially through religion, that family is everything and blood is blood. And, you have to disrespect your self-love in order to be accepted by those that you've been with for so long. And I'm not in that space anymore. My happiness, my joy, my peace, my solitude, my being with self is where my priority is. And we all have different journeys. We definitely all have different journeys, and we have to begin to ask ourselves, like, what is the true purpose of what I'm experiencing in this present moment? These are the two people that were the last on my list, of closing out and burning that toxic connectivity to the ground. But I don't need to be in somebody's presence to do that. I've already done it. I think a couple of decades will reveal that it's already been done. And the only reason why it's back in my energy field now is because I'm here, where all of the bullshit started. And so is it the crumbs that are left Maybe. But do I need to eat them bitches? I don't. I don't like crumbs. You know, I choose to eat things in wholeness and give the crumbs to whoever else would love to eat them, but it's not going to be me. And, you know, so yeah, I think oftentimes people think that van life is just this glorious experience where we're traveling and we're doing things and, you know, we're enjoying the surroundings, and we are. Yeah, we are. I am. I love every place that I've been to. But you carry yourself everywhere you go. There is no escaping yourself. There's never going to be a time where you think a new environment is going to change everything. Does environment matter? Of course it does. I'd rather be near the beach or in the mountains than be in Skid Row and feeling some type of way. You know, just as a comparison, environments matter. However, the emotional aspect of it, the mental aspect of it, your mental health, your all of that, you know, you carry that with you. And if you continue to dive in to the aspects of yourself where you already know, this is telling you, this right here is telling you, this is telling you. But sometimes this, it likes to wander, it likes to, you know, animate shit, and it likes to take ourselves into a space of, you know, wandering into the forest and just seeing what happens when this and this is telling you don't go that direction. And I'm learning to trust this, and I'm learning to trust this. I've lived a lot through this, and not to say that it hasn't gotten me into spaces of the unknown, but it's also taken me to places that I didn't really have to be in. You know, I learned my lessons from living through this, but now I'm in a space where I just really want to follow my heart and what I feel. And, you know, family dynamics, I mean, God, you know, just don't want to be a part of certain dynamics anymore. And I get to choose that for myself. I get to choose that for my journey. You get to choose that for yourself. You get to choose that for your journey. And you have to come into a space where you realize that your heart, your soul, your mental health matters. And if you know that you've evolved into a certain space, into a certain timeline of yourself, there is no going back. What there is the reflection of something that you were. And then you get to choose whether you want to walk into that space or not. I prefer going that direction. I prefer going that direction. Nothing back here is what I need anymore. I'm not living for what's back here. I'm living for what's going here. And that is what is important to me. And that is what I'm going to constantly be diving into. And to be able to check yourself every time something comes up and ask yourself, why do I feel the need to go here? What is this really? Is it me living from here? Or is it me living from here? And if it is living from here and here, go if you feel the need to do that. I just feel that sometimes life doesn't always have to have a space of I have to prove. And I want a conversation with you of why everything that you've done, you know, what you did is, I don't want to be the victim of my fucking story anymore. I don't care. Whatever you got going on, I don't care. I don't. Because I rewrite a new book. Rewrite. You know, I wrote a new book, and everything that was in the old one, I threw in the fire along with my old version of myself. There is no bringing that back. That shit is burned to ashes. You know? And so, especially when you already know that these individuals are still living in their old versions of themselves. And you know, you can recognize it, you see it, you hear it, you smell it. People are living in the old versions of themselves. They're not going to understand this journey that you're on, no matter how much you talk. That's what speaking in tongues is all about. You're speaking a different language. They're not going to understand you. They're not going to understand you. They're not going to receive what you're saying. And even though you come with a pure heart, even though you come with a different version of yourself, these people are not going to fucking get it. You know why? Because they served their purpose. It's done. They served their purpose. There's nothing more that you need to obtain from that. The only reason why you keep going back, like I mentioned in my previous video, is because you want that. You want that feeling again because it's familiar. Step into the unknown of yourself. Step into the part of you that is seeking that love that it's been missing ever since you've been a little girl or little boy. Honor that person now. So yeah, I got dressed up, my beautiful favorite color, and I'm going to see what's happening in these streets today. It's Saturday. I am going to enjoy my day and find something really good to eat and find something really good to drink and honor myself and congratulate myself for not living in the bubble of having to prove to other people what you are, what you've become. Because this is not about them. This is about me. This is about my journey. And I've worked too motherfucking hard on my energy field and this energy field around me to allow anything that is not on that same vibe or here to, not to say that I'm allowed, because at the end of the day, you allow things. But why would you even want to put yourself in that? You know, it's just, no, just not. I matter now. I have a voice now. This motherfucking throat chakra is spinning, doing her thing. This knows what I deserve, knows that I am the love that I needed. And nothing or no one is ever going to be more than what I've been given myself. It's going to be an addition, but it's never going to be more. And I remain in that space. I humble myself into this space because as much as I would love to talk some shit, I just want to reserve myself and preserve this energy. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do that anymore. You have to let people live what they want to live, and you have to live what you want to live. There is no convincing people of anything in this lifetime. You know, people are not going to hear you. And that's why people get into arguments. Nobody listens. Everybody's trying to prove a point, trying to prove who they are, trying to prove whose ego is better or whose ego is larger. You know? Yeah. Just remain on this path and sit back and observe why this is coming into your cipher again. Is it really for you to get back into and entertain the past? Or is this truly about you recognizing what this is and moving forward and saying thank you, but no thank you? That's where I'm at with this, you know, and it's a beautiful feeling to be able to witness yourself, you know, move in certain spaces that you know. It's like following the rainbow and the butterflies and everything that is beautiful in this life. You know, I always say that contrast is always going to exist in this life, but ultimately you get to choose what you want to entertain. And your perception of how you view your life is going to determine the intensity of the experience. And I prefer the flow state, you know, I do prefer the flow state, and I feel that what is for me is already mine. What is mine will always return if it left. And if it doesn't, then I gotta be okay with that. I'm okay with that. I gotta be okay with that. You know, no matter how much I may have wanted to indulge and have it and, you know, have a great time and just enjoy that frequency of a thing. But life is seasonal, and everything in your life is seasonal. I'm seasonal. You know, I change with the phases of the moon. And so do other people, whether they're aware of it or not. I always say we're designing by default or we're designing by design. You know, it's all happening. You know, and that's another video I'm going to do. You're either living by default or living by design. That's another topic, and I think that is, you know, just being intentional with your life, man, and your energy. Like, it's sacred. Energy is sacred. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm not allowing anybody to disrupt that for myself anymore. I'm not the little scared girl that I was. You know, I'm ready to burn shit down to the ground if I have to. Don't take that literally. All right? Peace. Blessed.